The member for Niagara Falls, Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Speaker, Canada is in a housing crisis. After 10 years of Liberal policy failures, home prices have doubled, down payments have doubled, and rent has doubled. According to Terranet, which is Ontario's land registry office, the average age of a first-time homebuyer in Ontario last year was 40, up from 34 a decade earlier. Keep in mind, this is the average age. That means there are people buying their first home when they are 45 or 50 or even older. Further, Build GTA recently found Toronto's pre-construction home sales have collapsed. Last month, sales of pre-construction homes were 89% below the 10-year average and decreased 72% from April 2024. This marks the 7th consecutive month of record low sales of new homes across the GTA. And sadly, it's expected to get worse, with Build saying that the new housing industry is decelerating quickly and a massive supply deficit in the 2027 to 2029 period is taking shape. They also confirmed the Liberals' GST cut for first-time home buyers will not substantially address affordability, nor will it significantly stimulate sales and construction. Meanwhile, existing homeowners are also struggling with the rising cost of housing and groceries. According to Equifax, homeowners experienced a 6.5% increase in delinquency as 90-day-plus mortgage delinquencies increased 71.5% in Ontario and 33.3% in BC since the first quarter of 2024. They aren't alone, as 1.4 million Canadians were unable to make a credit payment in the first quarter of 2024. It's simply astonishing to think of the damage that has been done to the housing market after 10 years of this Liberal government. Simply put, sellers can't sell, buyers can't buy, and many families are struggling to make their mortgage payments. That is the Liberal track record. In my riding, the communities of Niagara Falls and Niagara-on-the-Lake are also grappling with this housing crisis. The Niagara Home Builders Association has said housing starts in Niagara are at a 10-year low. According to the Niagara region, the median rent for a one-bedroom unit is $1,550, which is up 19.2% from 2021, while the median rent for a two-bedroom unit is $1,800, which is up 12.5% from 2021. Further, St. Catharines has the 11th highest rents in Canada. Speaker, this is the lost Liberal decade, and today the dream of home ownership is even further out of reach for many Canadians. The Prime Minister's new housing minister was formerly the mayor of Vancouver. Yes, the city that is one of the most expensive cities in the world to buy property and is perhaps the epicenter of Canada's housing crisis. Under his watch, Vancouver rent increased by 50%, home prices increased by 150%, and homelessness ramped up nearly 40%. That's a shameful track record for the person now in charge and responsible for solving Canada's housing crisis on a national scale. It makes no sense. Speaker, last Friday, I had the opportunity to ask the Minister of Housing a question during question period. I was not satisfied with the minister's response, so I'm taking this opportunity to ask it again and to give the government more time and another chance to try and justify their actions. Can this minister and the Prime Minister tell us why Canadians should trust them and their government to fix the housing crisis that they themselves created?
Minister of Housing and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we're the only party that has both recognized the urgent need to address the housing crisis and put forward a credible plan to address it. We will make housing more affordable by doubling the pace of construction across Canada with a housing plan that will get government back into the business of building. We'll cut tape so that the bureaucracy isn't getting in the way of homes being built at any level of government, and create new careers in the skilled trades to produce all of this extra housing. Addressing this issue means that we need to work with all orders of government and together with the private and non-profit sectors to pull in the same direction toward building more homes faster and ensuring that every Canadian has a place to call home. This government's playing a leadership role in that effort, building one Canadian economy and taking bold action to solve Canada's housing crisis. We are using every tool at our disposal to build homes at a scale and speed that's not seen for decades. And that includes investing in a homegrown building industry that employs Canadian workers, invests in Canadian businesses, supports the adoption of innovative, made-in-Canada building technologies like off-site construction. This government is changing the way that homes get built in this country by enhancing our domestic housing manufacturing capacity. We lag far behind many other countries around the world. We need to create the jobs, build a sustainable industry in this country for the longer term at this greater scale. We are driving the supply up to drive the costs down and make housing more affordable and accessible for Canadians. This is something that for 10 years, Conservative governments did nothing on. I was the mayor of Vancouver for 7 of those years, and this Conservative government delivered 0 affordable housing in my city. A key piece of this effort going forward, though, is creating Build Canada Homes, and this is the new entity that will take the federal government even farther into the housing game. Build Canada Homes will work with all of our partners to help streamline the development timelines, to leverage public lands, and to reduce the financial barriers that build truly affordable homes for low and middle income Canadians. And through Build Canada Homes, we will also support the adoption of innovative modular and prefab technologies that can help speed up construction, improve the productivity, and reduce the cost of building homes. Really stimulate a more dynamic homegrown industry here in Canada. Build Canada Homes will also provide predictable funding for affordable home builders. This will add to the existing initiatives like the Housing Design Catalog, which provides standardized region-specific designs for homes, including row houses, fourplexes, accessory dwelling units, or laneway homes, as we call them, to make it easier and faster for communities to boost the supply and support densification. These initiatives are on top of other actions that the Government of Canada is taking to make home ownership more affordable now, like eliminating the GST for first-time home buyers under $1 million, this $50,000 savings, lowering the GST on homes between $1 million and $1.5 million. These measures will help lower the upfront costs for Canadians who are entering the housing market in these weeks and months ahead. So we will see that opportunity for many new home buyers, as well as these longer-term actions to scale up and double the rate of construction across Canada. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The member for Niagara Falls, Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Through you, Speaker, Canadians are justifiably frustrated when it comes to the housing file after 10 years of this Liberal government being in power. When this government was first elected, they proposed an $80 billion plus national housing strategy. And what were the results? Housing costs doubled, rent doubled, and mortgage payments doubled. To compound this failure, the Liberals then pledged an over $4 billion housing accelerator fund, which the former housing minister admitted was not designed to build homes. I guess he was right. According to Statistics Canada, more homes were built in 1972 than they were in 2022. During the campaign, the Liberals took our idea of removing the GST from new home sales, but they did not go far enough. They also pledged to create a new housing entity. How much comfort and confidence should Canadians have in this government to create a new bureaucratic entity when they demonstrated they can't even run a passport office? And now TD Bank is saying they can't build a...
The Minister for Housing and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Well, there's a reason that we have a new Prime Minister, a new Housing Minister, and Infrastructure who are here to serve and here to scale up building affordable housing across Canada. Based on experience that I've had at city and provincial levels, I'm here to deliver as Canada is facing a housing crisis. And that's why this government is committed to a leadership role, working with all of our partners, every level of government, private and nonprofit sectors, to bring down the cost of housing. And that's going to stimulate our economy. We are building one Canadian economy in the face of the tariff threats. We have to leverage the economic activity that we see in the housing sector, make that a critical part of our economic growth to be the fastest growing economy in the G7. And we're looking at Build Canada Homes as a big opportunity to take it to the next level. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.